Joining us now is Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton. His new book is out tomorrow. It's called 7 Things You Can't Say About China. I love the cover. I love the book. I love its length. You can really get through this book quickly. And when I saw the Chinese say that, I thought about this. Put up for everybody the 7 things you can't say about China. And number 3, you say that China is waging an economic world war. How does that fit into this and what Trump was saying?
Hey, Dana, thanks for having me on. China has been waging an economic world war addressed primarily against the United States for decades now through a combination of rigging the game inside of China by subsidizing their own companies and dumping products in America, cornering the market on critical manufacturing around the world, and also by attacking our companies with breathtaking espionage through cyber attacks, old-fashioned spies, forced technology transfers. China has been waging a war against American businesses and workers for decades, and it's used those ill-gotten gains to underwrite the most rapid military buildup in American in the history of the world, which again is clearly directed against America. There's just a couple of things that China has been doing that is designed not to create, as they said, a multipolar world, but a world in which China calls the shots and other nations have to dance to China's tune. And 7 things you can't say about China is a way to kind of ring the alarm bell for normal Americans that whatever they think about China, and it's usually pretty negative, that China is even worse and more dangerous than you can imagine.
One of the things you add is that China could win. That's number 7. And that's a little bit alarming. But there's also this. President Trump talked about TikTok and a possible deal that he thinks China might like. Watch.
Update on the TikTok negotiation.
We have a lot of people interested in TikTok, and I hope to be able to make a deal. I think it would be good. You know, people have learned it's very popular, and we'll have to probably get approval from China to do it. I think China will be interested because it's to their benefit too.
How do you think that will work out? And keeping in mind that you say at the end of your book, there's several things that you can do, and one of them being, you know, talk to your kids about these apps.
Yeah, well, the law requires TikTok's parent company in China to sell and break ties with Communist China entirely. TikTok is not just another social media app. It's not like Facebook or Instagram or X because it's controlled by Communist China. And as I write in one of my chapters called China is Coming for Our Kids, TikTok is the way they're coming for our kids. Of course, there's a lot of harmless content there, you know, cat videos or cooking instructions, but there's a lot that's not harmless. You know, teaching teenage girls to hate their bodies or to have eating disorders, showing teenage boys graphic violence and obscenity, encouraging kids that express sadness or depression to look at videos that are glamorizing suicide. And then, of course, it's used as Chinese propaganda as well, just like we've seen with DeepSeek recently. It won't give you anything that's negative about Communist China. But you're right, Dana, as I say in the end of the book, 7 things that you can do. One of those things is to talk to your friends and your family, and especially kids, and educate them about the threat that China poses every single day. It's not a distant threat. It's not a remote threat. China has infiltrated our society. They've infiltrated our governments down to the local level. And you can help educate your kids about why TikTok is a serious threat to their mental well-being or to their futures. It's not just like any other platform. You can teach them that they should think about China whenever they're going to the ballot box if they've turned 18, not just for Congress and president, but for governors and state legislatures as well. And also one thing I say that you can do is pray for the Chinese people, because they're the worst and the first victims of Chinese communism going back a century.
Senator Tom Cotton, I really like the book. I have it here with me, and I appreciate you coming on the show. It was an eye-opener, to say the least. Thanks so much.
Thank you.